in today's video, I'm going to show you my exact process to rank #1 on Amazon step by step. I recently used this strategy to rank this client top 5 for a huge competitive keyword, hydrogen water tablets. So in this training, I'm going to go over the top 7 most important ranking factors that are working now. And it's very important that you implement all of these because what used to work a couple years ago does not work anymore. So I'm a straight to the point type of guy. So I'm just going to dive straight into my SEO playbook right here. So we are going to be going over the 7-star method, which are the 7 most important ranking factors. So first of all, the main misconception about ranking on Amazon is it's all about optimizing keywords. Maybe that worked in the past, but today the new reality is ranking on Amazon is a comprehensive thing involving many factors that need to be optimized, including conversion rate and more, which we're going to get into in this video. Which brings me to step #1, optimize your search terms. A common misconception around keywords or search terms is it's all about keyword stuffing, and the more keywords you have on the listing, the better you're going to rank. That is furthest from the truth. In fact, all you need to do is find out your 3 bread and butter keywords. Method #1 is the common sense method. And here's how you do it. Close your eyes and think about your product and think about the top 3 main keywords that a shopper would search to find your product. That's it. For example, for my product, the sticky wallet, the main keywords are phone wallet, stick-on wallet, and cell phone wallet. It's not rocket science. Don't overthink it. In my experience, most products have only a few what I call bread and butter keywords that make you most of your money. And method #2 to finding your top 3 bread and butter keywords is go to Amazon and pull up your most direct competitor's product listing, and then click the Jungle Scout Chrome extension right here. It's going to pop this up, and then click in the top right the little key icon that says View Keywords. So what I like about Jungle Scout is it pulls up the keywords that this product ranks organically for from highest search volume on down. And basically what you do is just go through here, and any keywords that are relevant to your product, check them in this box, hit create list, and put your product's name. And then after you've looked at all potential keywords, your job is to basically boil them down into what are the top 3 main bread and butter keywords. And if you don't have Jungle Scout yet, you can go to amazingmarketingco.com/Jungle Scout if you want to use our secret discount code, not sponsored. Step 2 is on-page SEO, aka front-end SEO. So the misconception / what doesn't work anymore is it's all about keyword stuffing, putting bunch of keywords in your title and bullet points and A+ and alt text and all that. The new reality is just take your 3 main bread and butter keywords, make sure they are in the title once, the first bullet point once, in the A+ content once, in the text and or infographics, same, and in the product description once. That's it for on-page SEO. And step 3 is back-end search term SEO. Misconception with this, again, is it's all about keyword stuffing in the back end. The new reality, all you have to do is this. Optimize the search terms field in the back end. The tips and best practices with this is it's a maximum of 250 bytes. Use them all. You don't need to repeat keywords. And if you need more words, consider these 2 hacks, the misspelling hack and the Spanish hack. I think those are self-explanatory. And the next step with backend SEO is just make sure all of the backend attributes are completely filled out. So to recap, step #1, optimize your search terms, is we found our top 3 bread and butter keywords using the common sense rule and the Jungle Scout method. And then we optimized our on-page search terms and our backend search terms, which brings me to step #2, which could be the most important step of all. If you do not do this, you have absolutely 0 chance of ranking and that is optimizing your conversion rate. Step number 2 is optimize your conversion rate. See, the way that the Amazon ranking algorithm actually works is it's basically just a factor of how much you've sold over the past 180 days and your conversion rate. AKA, the algorithm is trying to determine what are the best products. There are some other factors in there, of course, but those are the main two. How well you're selling and converting. So in order to rank number 1 on Amazon, you are going to need to convert very well. We've already covered search term SEO. Now we're going to cover step 2, conversion rate. And later in the video, we're going to get into PPC, price, reviews, click-through rate, and external traffic. It's only when you have all 7 of these ranking factors working together synergistically that you can rank number 1. Also, I will say to you that you should forget about trying to rank number 1 organically. It's all about ranking in the top 10 or top 20. That's where the vast majority of sales happen. In fact, in some cases, you don't want to be the number 1 ranked product because they are often the cheapest one, which is not where you want to be. So within step 2, optimizing your conversion rate, there are many, many factors that affect conversion rate. And basically the misconception that used to work in years past is you can kind of throw up some average content, some average photography, copywriting, graphic design from a freelancer on Fiverr or Upwork for $500 or $1,000 and call it good and sell well. The new reality is you have to have amazing creative and content to win in today's hyper-competitive market. So make sure you fully optimize your listing for conversion. How? At the end of the day, make sure it is done by a professional graphic designer and copywriter who specialize in Amazon conversion rate optimization. If you want to do it yourself and learn all the elements of listing optimization, I will refer you to my listing optimization complete guide, which is an hour plus going over all the elements of conversion. And you will see that inside the playlist on the end screen at the end of this video. Or if you want my expert team to optimize your listing for you, you can get in touch at amazingcreative.io. But you will never rank on page 1 if you don't do the next part, which brings me to step number 3, optimize your click-through rate, which is extremely critical on Amazon. What doesn't work anymore is you can just throw up a regular picture of your product with a white background and get a good click-through rate. Today's new reality is you need to get super creative with your main image strategy. So how you're going to do this is follow what I call the AB4 method. What you're going to do is basically have 4 main image concepts designed by an Amazon main image expert. Then you're going to go to sellercentral.com/MYE. That's manage your experiments. And you're going to run main image experiments. This is how the playbook works. You're going to have main image A, B, C, and D. First, you're going to run an experiment of A versus B, and then you're going to take the winner of that and run it versus C. Then you're going to take the winner of that and run it versus D. And the winner of all of that should have the best results. And now you're going to know with confidence and have peace of mind that your click-through rate is fully optimized. If you don't do this, you are leaving thousands on the table. This is what it looks like inside of Seller Central after the experiment is done. As of right now, the shortest duration that you can run an experiment for is 4 weeks. So it's going to take multiple months to figure out which is the best main image. Just to reiterate why this is a huge deal, a 1% improvement in click-through rate gives you a 1% improvement in sales. So the investment of having 4 strategic main images designed by a professional is very relatively low. Let's say less than $1,000. So the ROI is potentially huge. For example, if you're doing just 100K a year in revenue, base case, let's say you only improve your click-through rate 1%. That makes you $1,000 in extra revenue per year. Let's say you paid $1,000 to have those main images created. Boom, over the period of the next 5 years, that's a 5x ROI. But potentially you're going to improve your click-through rate by 10% or more in the next 5 years, 50x ROI. For my full main image CTR playbook, you can watch my full YouTube video on that inside the playlist that will be on the end screen at the end of this video. And you can access it inside of my ultimate playbook whiteboard, which by the way, you can access with all of my playbooks inside of this whiteboard. And you'll find a link to that in the description. But even if you have the best main image that man has ever seen, your click-through rate will still not be fully optimized. Why is that? Well, because main image is just one part that affects click-through rate. As you can see right here on page 1 of Amazon, what do shoppers see? They see a few things. They see the main image, they see the title, they see the number of reviews, they see the star rating, they see the price and the coupon, and they see the delivery time. Those are all factors which affect the click-through rate. If you don't have all those other factors that I just mentioned optimized, you will never rank on page 1, and we'll get into those in a second. Which brings me to step number 4, optimize your pay per click. So the misconception about PPC and what doesn't work anymore is you used to just be able to do the regular old strategies, auto campaigns for research, adjust bids and placements, and continually optimize every week and expect to get a lot of sales. The new reality in the hyper competitive Amazon marketplace is doing the regular stuff just doesn't cut it anymore. You must go above and beyond with advanced tactics to stand out. That's sponsored brand ads, sponsored video ads, sponsored display ads, heavy strategic competitor targeting and testing, and heavy customer retargeting and testing, which is a new feature in recent times. Now, how to optimize your ads, I have complete videos and tutorials on that, which I will direct you to. Also my PPC playbook inside my whiteboard. But for right now, I will tell you the latest and greatest hack that is the biggest needle mover that is working for us right now. And that is video ads, specifically my video ad strategy, which I invented called the billboard method. See, over recent years, I've been on a quest to find the MEV, that is minimum effective video for an Amazon video ad. And I have cracked the code. What I've found is 99.9% of brands are not doing sponsored video ads right. For example, this brand, Llama Naturals, they don't have their thumbnail optimized. Now, as a YouTuber for 8+ years now, I know all about optimizing and testing thumbnails. But with Amazon ads, they don't let you upload a thumbnail for your video ad. So how do you optimize the thumbnail, Riley? Well, is what I found is the thumbnail that appears here is what is at the 5-second mark in the video. So my billboard method optimizes for that frame at the 5-second mark to be like a static image billboard. Because as you can see, shoppers are scrolling down this thousands and thousands and thousands of people per day, and they're seeing this static image because on desktop, the video does not play until you click. So there's thousands and thousands of eyeballs that are just seeing this red image that's saying kids multivitamins gummies. It's not telling me anything about the product, their USP. It's not selling me like a billboard. You would never pay for a billboard that just says, here's what the product is, kids multivitamin gummies. So what you ideally want is thousands and thousands of people per day scrolling down here, seeing this video thumbnail that is curiosity piquing, scroll stopping enough to incentivize them to do the only purpose of the video ad, which is first click the video. The only goal of your video is to pique more curiosity so they will click on the listing and visit the listing. that is in the nutshell what pretty much every brand is getting wrong about Amazon ads. The point of a video ad is to get people to visit your listing, and then the listing should do the explaining and the selling and the converting. So with the billboard method, basically what you want to have is a static, unchanging billboard headline on one side of the video. And on the other side, it could be any type of video that you have, UGC content, or if you don't even have any great videos, you can just add your best photography just like this. Meme style can also work well that I've been playing with. And with the headline in general, you want it to pique curiosity and ideally get across the USP / have it comparison based, showcasing why you are unique and different. So for this one, I put the only 37-in-1 women's multivitamin, simply an image on the left. And you want to basically make sure that the billboard headline remains static through the first 6 seconds. That way, the thumbnail is guaranteed to contain your big billboard headline. And then after that, you can add more stuff, but it's really those first 5 seconds that matter, in my opinion. So that's the framework to go make some ads and test them yourself. Of course, it's all about test, keep what's best. When I make video ads for a product, I'm usually doing 5 to 10 different variations. Or if you want to just steal my templates, you can find them in my Gumroad store if you just want to use some of them that I've already created. And just for context, if we're talking about Instagram and Facebook ads, e-commerce brands are testing dozens, hundreds of video ad creatives. But the thing about Amazon is most Amazon experts are not video ad experts, because video ads only came out in recent years. And so 99.9% of brands are not testing tons and tons of creatives, and they're not optimizing for the thumbnail in the first 5 to 3 seconds. So in general, in my opinion, hyper strategizing and optimizing video ads is the best way to stand out and get a great ROI in terms of pay per click. In fact, I'm going to come over to our case studies page to show you that some of our video ads have cut ACoS in half and or doubled sales. So for this client, it doubled sales and took ACoS from 70 to 35%. This one doubled sales, took ACoS from 46% to 35%. And this one cut ACoS in half. So I am consistently seeing strategic billboard method video ads have by far the best ACoS, ROAS, and cost per click. Those all go hand in hand, AKA be the best, most profitable forms of advertising on Amazon. It kind of makes sense because it's the best way to stand out when done right. And as you just saw multiple times, I have seen the right video ad virtually double sales virtually overnight. Can be a complete game changer. But even if your ads are the best in the world, you are still never going to rank #1 on Amazon unless you fully optimize the next thing, which brings me to step number 5, optimize your reviews. Common misconception I see and what doesn't work anymore is you can just do some Vine reviews, maybe 10, 20, or 30, and call it good and get some sales and rank high. No, doesn't work anymore. The new reality is you're never going to get enough reviews fast enough unless you do advanced review getting strategies. So here's exactly how to do that. We're gonna follow my reviews playbook right here. But before we get into those, I wanna share the goals in terms of reviews. Goal number 0 is always have a 4+ star rating, or else you will never rank in the top 10. Goal number 1, 30 reviews in 30 days. Goal number 2, 100 reviews in 100 days. When we hit 30 in 30 days and 100 in 100 days, it usually tends to be a great launch. And then from there, the next milestone is getting to 1,000 reviews as fast as possible. As a rule of thumb, I say in the first 2 years. And your ultimate goal is hitting 1,000 reviews with that 4+ star rating. Then you have what I call solidified page one real estate, a home run product, and that's when all the profit is made. That's when you're camped out on page one, hopefully the top 10, that's where vast majority of sales happen, and you can play with higher pricing and dial in that sweet spot of sell-through rate and profitability that makes sense for your business goals. So step number one is Amazon Vine. What you're gonna wanna do is make sure you have in some inventory. As soon as you have that in, you're gonna make sure that you set the launch date to 1 year in the future, okay? You don't want to release to the public yet. You're going to enroll in 30 Vine reviews. That's the maximum amount of Vine reviews. The new thing in the last year is you can do Vine before you're launched to the public. So that's a game changer. Then you're gonna be waiting for those Vine reviews to happen. After 10 Vine reviews are posted on the listing, which is still private, then you're going to set the launch date to tomorrow. It will launch live to the public with 10 reviews already on the listing. Wow, that's a game changer. And then you can start ads right away. Instead of in the past, I used to say, launch your listing, it's gonna have 0 reviews, and then only start ads after you have a few of those Vine reviews live. But even with 3 reviews, your PPC is not gonna convert very well. So now you can wait until you have double-digit reviews to even launch to the public to start getting your first traffic, which is a game changer. Next thing to do, which is a no-brainer, and it takes 5 minutes, is turn on request review automation. You can do this inside of Jungle Scout or Helium 10. Just go in there and turn it on. It's a set it and forget it, no-brainer. If you want to use Helium 10, you can use my regular referral code Riley10, or if you want to use Jungle Scout, you can go to amazingmarketingco.com/Jungle Scout to use our regular client referral discount. None of these are sponsored. Now, common mistake is I will see companies that just do the Vine reviews and then they're kind of just chilling, hoping that a lot of customers leave a lot of reviews. But today, that's not enough. So now we're gonna get into the advanced review strategy. So the next thing is product testers. So there's many product tester sites out there, which is essentially like a third-party version of Vine. So what you're gonna wanna do is go to fbareviews.com/verified-reviews and scroll down to the bottom. What I recommend is signing up for the 15 tests per month and basically keeping that on until you hit 100 reviews and have a 4.3 plus star rating, ideally 4.3 plus. So it looks like you have 4.5 stars. That makes a big difference and it is very ideal. So it's around $30 per product test, but the ROI is very high. And also the cool thing about third-party product tester sites is you can use them for a rating boost at any time if your rating falls below 4 stars, which you should definitely do. And that's a game changer because with Vine, you can only do it once at the beginning. You can't do it again later. So with these 3 strategies, you should be able to get to 100 reviews in 100 days, which is gonna get you a lot of momentum, which is gonna be one of the huge ranking factors that's gonna allow you to rank #1 or top 10. But there's one more strategy, which is again, advanced, and that is using an insert card. With an insert card, you can implement this down the road when you're selling a lot more, but I will refer you over to my insert card strategy video and playbook inside of my whiteboard. But essentially, a strategic insert card is going to do 2 things. It is going to maximize your review rate long-term, so you're gonna hit 1,000 reviews sooner. Also, it is going to build your email list faster, which has a significant effect on your LTV. So if you're a supplements brand, you should know your LTV and you should calculate the value that each email address gives you. So a very smart insert card, especially for consumables and supplements, is definitely something to consider. And if you're wondering, Riley, are insert cards within TOS? I consider this a gray area, but I did talk to people at this company, Get Reviews AI, who talked directly to Amazon in-house, and Amazon's major biggest concern is incentivized reviews. That's why you cannot say on your insert card, please leave us 5 stars, or if it's not 5 stars, contact us or leave a review and we'll send you the free thing. That's a big no-no, incentivizing reviews. So the best strategy has, hey, get this free thing. They scan it to get their free thing. They put in their email, and then you ask them optionally to leave a review. And that's what Get Reviews AI. It's a little survey flow builder, and it's optimized for getting the most amount of emails and the most amount of reviews. It's a nifty little tool that automates the whole process. And then from there, once you're on your email list, make sure that you have at the very minimum a monthly holiday flash sale going out. That is the 80-20 lowest hanging fruit thing you can set up. If you don't have that, that's going to increase your sales and profit. What I would recommend for your first 2 years of Amazon, sending all of that email traffic back to Amazon to pump up your reviews and your rank for the first 1 to 2 years that you're on Amazon. And if you're wondering, is capturing an email via an insert card, is that within TOS? It's a gray area. They argue that once the package is in the home of the customer and they are looking at the insert card and unboxing it, it's technically outside of Amazon's platform. So that's why you see a lot of brands doing that. Obviously, does Amazon love that? No, but that's not Amazon's biggest concern. Their biggest concern is the incentivized reviews. So we got our reviews optimized, but even if you have the best, most amazing reviews and rating, you'll still never rank #1 on Amazon if you don't optimize the following, which brings me to step number 6, optimize your price. In the olden days, in years past, maybe you could just launch at regular price and you'll get enough sales to rank high on Amazon. Not anymore. The new reality is you gotta start at an aggressive price discount in order to get enough traction to even make it up to page 1. So you gotta use aggressive advanced pricing strategies, and I'll tell you how. In general, the philosophy is the lower your price, the more sales you're gonna get, thus the higher you're going to rank. So step 1 is determine your launch sale price. So with pricing strategy, it's an in-depth conversation that we have with every client, and we need to go over your inventory situation, your cash flow situation, your near-term, medium-term, and long-term business goals for each individual product, because each product is its own business. For example, some clients, they have outside investors and they are not in a rush to reach profitability, while some are bootstrapping startups and they need to hit profitability in year 1. So all of this stuff affects our pricing strategy. But as a rule of thumb, I have a couple different methods and strategies. So option number 1, which can be very effective, is what I call the undercut method. Basically, you're gonna go to page 1 on Amazon for your bread and butter keyword, and you're gonna look at the best selling direct competitor, and basically price $1 underneath them. Now, this is gonna get you tons of sales because a good chunk of shoppers on Amazon are price shoppers, and they will just get the cheapest one as long as the product is pretty much the same. But obviously not everyone can do that. So option number 2 is the 25% off method. It's basically just start at 25% off your regular price. Of course, that's a rule of thumb. You need to talk this over with an Amazon expert and do what makes sense for your goals. All right, so you've determined your launch sale price. And step number 2 is what I call the coupon method. So as soon as you are eligible, you're going to turn on a 40% off subscribe and save coupon. This is an incredibly powerful tool that you must be utilizing. In fact, we were able to rank a client on the top of page 1 for an uber competitive keyword, ACV gummies, using a 40% off subscribe and save coupon. If we look at page one here, we're gonna see top guys are doing 20% off, 10% off, 10% off, $1, 20%, 20%. So if you can come in and you do 40% and offer that extreme discount via a subscribe and save coupon, which is just a discount on their first order, you could potentially get a huge spike in sales and catapult yourself to the top of page one. Look at this person. This person is doing 50% off subscribe and save. So 40% off, 50% off. As always, as I said, it's case by case. How aggressive are you feeling? How much cash flow do you have? How much inventory do you have? At the end of the day, the lower the price, more sales you're gonna get, the higher and faster you're gonna rank. And then from there, it's monitor and adjust the coupon and the price that makes sense for your goals, making sure you never run out of stock and making sure your cash flow is healthy. And from there, the way I describe it is, as marketers on Amazon, we're basically DJs with two knobs. We have price and we have ads. So you're dialing your ads and you're dialing your price up and down, find that sweet spot for that product's goals. For more on pricing strategy, see my pricing strategy ultimate guide video in the playlist on the end screen. So to recap the 7-star method so far, we've optimized our search terms, we've optimized our conversion rate, our click-through rate, our pay-per-click, our reviews, and our price. But the funny thing is, even if you optimize all 6 of those things, you still, in many cases, will not be able to rank on the top of page one, especially not number one, unless you optimize the 7th step, which brings me to step number 7, send external traffic. The misconception / doesn't work anymore is just throwing your product on Amazon and being able to rank for competitive keywords. The new harsh reality is most keywords are super competitive. So you need to drive external traffic to boost that sales velocity and conversion rate, to supercharge the algorithm, to spike you up into page one. Which brings me over here to the external traffic playbook, all inside of my whiteboard 100x method Amazon complete strategy. Here there are a few flavors of external traffic. The best bang for your buck and easiest is going to be the giveaways. Now, real quick, the free is obvious. If you have an existing email list or social followers, let them know that your new product just launched and send a steady stream of traffic to your new Amazon listing over its first 30 days. But the best bang for your buck way is going to be giveaways. There are different types of giveaways. There's rebate sites, there's sweepstakes sites, there's brand partnership sites. There are many rebate / giveaway sites out there. The one I've used for years is rebate.com. Savvy sellers will list their products for 90 or 100% off rebate, and savvy shoppers will come here and they will click on a product such as this supplements right here. It will take them to the Amazon listing where they will pay full price, and then rebate.com reimburses that person 30 days later. So Amazon thinks that this listing is getting a bunch of traffic every day, full price customers, everyone's clicking and buying, conversion rate shoots through the roof, the sales velocity shoots through the roof. So it can be very, very powerful to catapult yourself up for competitive keywords. How many giveaways you should do per day, that requires a discussion. There's no one size fits all. Over on the paid social side, that's a completely different animal. And then there's the organic social, which is again, a whole nother ball game. But it's very easy to go to rebate.com and just set up a campaign and drive a bunch of traffic, which ignites and skyrockets your conversion rate, ranking, and sales. And that is how you are going to potentially rank number one. You do that and you combine it with optimizing all of the other 7 most important ranking factors that I talked about, and you are going to rank very high on Amazon. Where your mind should be is trying to rank in the top 10, because normally shoppers will scroll a little bit down before clicking on a product. Which brings me to a bonus step number 8, which is optimize your FBA inventory. I have to mention it in this video because if you do want to rank high on page 1, you need to have significant FBA inventory in stock. The new reality is Amazon won't place you high on page 1 unless it knows you have the FBA inventory already in stock to handle the sales velocity up on page 1. If it knows you're going to go out of stock, it won't put you there. So dealing with FBA inventory is a huge part of what we help brands and companies with as an Amazon agency. Long story short is send in as much as you can. Also, the more inventory that you have in stock, the more people around America are going to have 1 day and same day shipping option, which is a huge factor in terms of conversion. So if this video was helpful, a like would be appreciated. Put your question below in the comments and I will get to it. Or if you want to contact me directly, Riley@amazingmarketingco.com. Or if you want my agency to implement everything for you, you can get in touch with us at amazingmarketingco.com. But this is just the very beginning. I have a detailed strategy video on all of these 7 ranking elements that you will find on the playlist right here, where I am putting out a free course on all of these elements right here on my YouTube channel. See you in the next video over there. Peace.